This podcast is part of the Zeo to Hero podcast network. Yeah, it started out, I think we were going to do like a live episode because we were going to be in Kansas City for an AnimeCon or Animeverse. And
Right. Yeah.
we didn't get to make it. My son ended up changing schools. He's in the school district where I live now. And
That
so
bastard.
I know, right? Yeah. So I had to, I couldn't go because I was trying to get everything together to make sure that I had what he needed for us to go to the school on that
Yeah.
Monday to
Makes sense.
get him enrolled and all that good stuff. So I didn't
Yeah.
get to go. So that was where we started. We were going to do a live cool thing, in your studio and all that.
Yeah.
And then, we've had some things happen along the way, but
You and me both, brother.
yeah, we are.
Well,
as
I mean, to kind of like for the viewer who we had about a 5-minute conversation before all this, where I detailed my car starring in a movie, my car getting broken into, and all this other stuff. So yeah. So I feel like I've just now got my car back for the first time since July, because it's just been an ordeal. And I was very fortunate that I have a buddy that he has he has 2 cars to himself. So he and his wife have cars.
Yeah,
he has his own 2 cars, and one of them was more expendable. So I spent a large portion of the summer driving a nice Mercedes Benz, which it's one of those things where and I'm sure your audience will understand this, but you get behind one of them and you're like, motherfucker, why are you turning so slow? Why is this so happy? And I get in that car and I'm driving and it gets up 0 to 60 really fast. Corners on a goddamn half dime, a quarter dollar. It doesn't, the phrase is turns on a dime because it turns so fast.
Right.
No, this thing turns like, and it's like, oh, okay, I have to slow to 15 miles an hour to turn effectively because this thing just doesn't. Anyways, but it was a lovely car. I'm super grateful that I have friends that have been willing to help me out, and he basically let me have his car for weeks at a time, which was awesome. So, but I'm happy to have mine back because even though it's old and whatever, it's mine. I bought it as a Kia Soul, bought it in 2012. It was the first new car I ever owned, and while it's no longer new, I don't know if we'd hit recording before I detailed the fact that a movie production used my car. And in lieu of rental payment, because it's a very low budget production, in lieu of rental payment, they paid to have damage where other people had hit my car fixed. Yeah. And so now the car, while being 13 plus years old, it looks almost like the day I bought it. So,
right.
Yeah, which is awesome. It's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, the car now technically is kind of a piece of shit, but I love it. So.
Well, mine's a 2019, and that was my first car I ever bought new.
Yeah.
And we were talking about it because I think I mentioned it on last week's episode, and if anybody follows me online, they saw it. I got rear-ended last week, so
Oof,
mine is in the shop.
Dude. So I feel for you.
Yeah. Mine's in the shop right now, but it's weird because I'm going from a 2019 Hyundai Tucson, so I'm used to something about the size, a little bit bigger than the Soul, but still that same size range kind of. To now I'm in it's a brand new car. It's a 2025, but it's a Corolla, so it's I feel like I'm dragging against the ground as I'm driving. I'm very far down, and I miss my car, even though It's an older one now, but I almost got it paid off. It's almost paid off now, so. I was like, man, don't total this thing out when I almost paid this thing off.
That was the thing is because they did try to steal my car. They broke the passenger so it was outside of I rent studio space and there's an art gallery that I'm actually now a board member of, but there's an art gallery downtown called the Kansas City Artists Coalition. Yeah. And so I rent studio space in the basement. So it's gallery above, basement below, and I was there late one night, it's I'm there probably till about 10 or 11 at night, and I come outside shit, they fucking broken my car.
Oh no. Yeah.
And I just at this point in life when bad stuff happens, it's really has to be awful for me to have a genuine emotional reaction, because otherwise it's all right, let's do the steps to move through this, whatever.
Yeah.
And this was
Yeah.
one of those where it's like, all right, do the steps to move through this. I called the cops. They're like, cool, bro. Call your insurance, click,
Yeah. Yeah.
like call insurance to like file the claim, do what you gotta do. And this is all at like 10, 11 at night.
You don't want to be standing out. I mean, it's Kansas City, I mean, I don't know how bad it is there now, but I mean, obviously, if your car is getting broken into, it's not
No,
great.
so two things on that. The first I'll address is the car thing, which is I've been parking outside of that studio for about a year at this point with
Okay.
no issue.
Okay.
Also, I own an older Kia, so when everyone was freaking out about Kias getting stolen, mine was just before the years, like, so mine's like the basest you can get without being a stick shift for
Gotcha.
2012.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
like the cavern where there's supposed to be a TV is holds my wallet and my keys or
Yeah.
whatever, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it's not a stick shift, it's a manual, but like the side mirrors have to be like moved by hand. So
Okay.
like it's very basic, like it's so
Yeah.
basic, like
Yeah. Yeah.
basic models now come with like fucking TVs in them. But at
They
the
do. That's
time,
true. Yeah.
yeah. So but at the time, basic meant like everything but stick shift, which
Right.
is because if I knew how to drive stick, I would have bought a stick because at the time at the time I bought that car and needed that car, had no money. Side story, it's like for anyone who's been in Atlanta, my previous car died completely, like shut off in the middle of Little Five Points at rush hour. So this is something that only anyone who's in your audience that knows what that means
Yeah.
will be like, oh fuck. Right? The report from the mechanics was 6 pages long of what was wrong with that car. They
Oh
said the
my
last page is the
gosh.
important stuff, which meant the electric and the exhaust, like and basically the things that run the car had gone out. And so yeah, I sold it to a dude for $300 who probably parted it out. But anyways, so getting the Kia was a huge thing for me because like, hey, I'd only ever bought used cars, like whatever. So that was like a new car and like whatever.
Right. Right.
Anyways, shoot, I derailed myself and I was trying to so hard to keep track on the point I was going to make here and I lost it already.
You're talking about
Anyways,
it being the basic car, and
yeah, basic
yeah.
car. So I wasn't. So, oh, yeah, that's it. So in the a few years back, when everybody was all worried about Kias getting stolen, I wasn't super worried about it because there's all the touch start ones and all
Right.
that stuff.
Yeah.
So come to find out, this was actually news to the repair place that I took it to, because
Hmm.
like they have a Kia expert on staff who
Yeah.
was talking to me, and she was all like, "So this next part was news to me, and it's going to be news to you, but." So they did try to steal your car, which I initially upon discovery, I was like, oh, they just tried to break into it, like, and
Right.
tried to, and then they found that there was nothing in there worth stealing.
Yeah.
Tangentially, I had just done a convention, so my tub of like 10 portfolios of original art and a lot of my supplies was in there, and
Oh.
they didn't, because they couldn't take the car, they didn't take any of that.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So I lucked out there. But she enlightened me to, she's like, this was new news to me. And I was like, oh, really? What's up? And she's like, so when they tried to steal your car, they dekeyed it because apparently it's a thing now for those older models. They can unpair my key and
Yeah.
repair their key with it, which
Oh.
that's new
Okay.
because the thing with the start ones is the start ones, you can do that. They
Right.
knew that was a thing
Right. Right.
because
Yeah.
there's no physical key going inside. And so that's why the older models weren't really a concern. But
Yeah.
apparently with new technology, like that's now a concern. And I'm like, I have never been worried about my car getting stolen until right now.
Right.
you know and I still work at that studio. Like I'm not changing my studio. Like I love
Right.
them. Like I'm on the board of directors for the gallery above.
Yeah.
Like so, but it also is like, okay, I'm gonna be more mindful about being here at fucking midnight. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
yeah, that sort of thing. And it sucks that has to happen because I really liked going there like late at night because like I have a wonderful house here with my girlfriend and her kids, and I have split it so like all of like my music stuff is
Yeah, it's
can't
right
really see
there.
it, but it's back behind me, and then all the art stuff is at the studio downtown.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I have to really be a little bit more judicious about when I'm there,
right.
or at least kind of like be more mindful of like checking, like, okay, check every so often, and which sucks.
Absolutely.
Like, and
Yeah.
I hate that has to happen, but also the part in me that really tries to look for the gratitude in certain things is like, okay, I've been parking there every multiple nights a week for the
Oof.
last year plus
Right.
and never had an issue.
Yeah.
So,
Once, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Once out of all those times, yeah. No,
yeah,
I get
yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah.
No, so I did, want to talk about Kansas City a little bit
Yeah,
because,
please, please, let's do it.
I know that, you are a very big supporter when it comes to that. I see you post stuff all the time, like
Yeah,
the tower is going to be coming back on after, what is it, 20
dude.
years?
A staple of my childhood. It came back online and it's fucking awesome. And I was driving home today and I'm like, damn it, like it's too early for me to see the
Yeah.
lights. I watched the lights through that video I reposted, but it's one of
Hmm.
those things where it's like I do remember when I saw that was happening. Like I had all these flashbacks to being a kid, and that was like a beacon of like my
Right.
parents taking us to do cool shit, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 So I was born around the Kansas City area. I think I've
Oh, I
told
didn't
you
know
this
that. No,
before. Yeah,
you've probably told me, but I
yeah.
forget. My
Uh,
memory is terrible, so I apologize for forgetting. But yeah,
you're good. I forget too. I forget if I actually told you or not. So I might not have.
yeah,
That's the
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
But I was
yeah.
born in Independence. So
Okay,
yeah,
nice.
and
I grew up in Blue Springs, and then I
okay,
lived in Independence. I've lived in Raytown, Lee Summit, like so. Yeah, I've lived in downtown KC. So I've lived now I'm in Overland Park for those who know the area. So like I've kind of bounced around everywhere
yeah,
through my time living here.
yeah. Um, there's something that you have that I guess you're the one who does the editing for it, or maybe it's the directing for it, and that is oh well, I'm losing my train of thought here. I'm
Is this
selling
about?
Mahomes.
I did the directing and the editing for it. So yeah.
Okay, kind of talk about that project because I mean
Okay.
you're on the second season of it now, aren't you?
Yeah, so they did a first season by themselves and I saw it. So not sure how much, pardon me on the burping. So hold
You're
on.
good.
So um not to talk too much because she's not here. She's upstairs. But my girlfriend works in the mortgage industry.
Okay.
And I'll keep it vague just because whatever. She would happily talk about whatever, but I don't want to talk about anything without her here.
Yeah, yeah, I get
But
that.
she works in the mortgage industry, and through her, I've met a ton of awesome people
Yeah.
in a world that I don't even have any fucking clue about. But
All right.
right,
Yeah.
don't understand mortgages, don't understand home buying,
Yeah.
realtors, whatever, whatever. But th- she made me aware of they had filmed a what is now season one, but they had filmed this thing like for reels. I say show, but it's a reels show where
Uh-huh.
it's like a minute to 2 minutes at best. I really taxed that by making a bunch of 2 to 3 minute episodes for this show, but where it's just them being hyper stylized slash goofy slash over caricaturized versions of themselves
Yeah.
doing realtor and mortgage shit, and all of it just I watched it and I was like, this is very funny. And I told her, and I had met several of them at this point, and I was like, hey, I would love to help you out on another season if you decide to do one. And so
Right.
they were like, fuck yeah, let's do it. So they did that fall of 2024 maybe, and maybe I think 2024 sounds right. And
Okay.
so they came at me around, and I was just like, yeah, let's do it. So it was a little bit of, we did prep, but it was very much like, we're just going to shoot this. And then I told them, I was like, hey, we'll shoot this with these ideas in mind, but I will find the story in the edit, because I was excited about that. And that's exactly
Right.
what I did. So
Yeah.
what we did was we got about a dozen realtors slash mortgage lenders together. They come to a location, they come in and out as they have availability. And I shot them it was more of like, so it'd be like, hey, here's what you're talking about, and then we just do that a couple times,
Yeah.
and then second set of people, and just getting people to talk to each other and telling them, hey, we need to talk about this. I
Right.
don't There's no script, and the direction is, the direction is very limited, in that this is what we're talking about. And I discovered very quickly they're all very normal people, but
Yeah.
because they get along with each other, they all riffed with each other so well.
Yeah.
So well, which was incredible. Like, that's a director's, and well, especially as the editor, it's an editor's fucking dream. I
Right.
had mostly usable shit to work from, so I just had to find stuff that I liked.
Yeah.
And the thing is, though, is that even the stuff that, like, if there's a take that I used in one episode, I have another take that I would use in a previously on that's completely different. So, anyways,
Okay.
so we
Okay.
shot for about 8 hours on a midweek day,
Yeah.
people showing up as they have time. And then I then spent, and my life has been crazy. So if I'd been let more available, I would have had, if I'd been more available, it probably would have been a different show. But
Okay.
because I didn't have a lot of availability to edit it, and it kind of was like trying to find time, it was a lot of like, what's funny to me in the moment, which would have happened anyways, but what's funny to me in the moment based on what I'm going through right now, what's happening right now, which, that colors how
Right.
you perceive what you're working on,
Yeah.
which I'm grateful for, even though it was difficult. But that said, like, these people are genuinely good people, and they're genuinely really funny. So it
Yeah.
was actually really easy to find stuff that works. So I ended up making about, like, and it's not that long of a thing. Like, it's like, if you put all 9 episodes together, it's maybe 20 minutes at best, probably more like 18.
Right.
But it's 18 really funny minutes for
Yeah.
what, from my point of view.
Right.
And all of it builds to, like, the last episode, like, and nobody's seen this yet, but the other people involved, but the last episode is, like, really depressingly funny. Like, it's good, like, it's good,
Yeah.
but it's one of those things where it's like, you need those 8 episodes to get to that. And especially as the person doing these kind of like, so there's bits in the show where I'm one-on-oneing with people,
Right.
and being able to find those things. Because, like, the thing about editing, I always loved Curb Your Enthusiasm, but I never understood how it was made until I made this.
Okay.
And a
Okay.
lot of it, and it was just gathering these hours of footage and going like, okay, where's the story?
Yeah.
Because shooting what we did, there's not a story there. There's an idea of a story.
Right.
There's a conception of, like, well, it'll be like point A, point B.
Yeah.
Everything in between, I'm having to fit, and fitting that is a matter of, like, yeah, we shot this late in the day and it's supposed to mean this thing for this moment, but actually it moves better here much earlier. Like,
Right.
a lot of
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
that's, and we're talking about a final product of, like, maybe 18 minutes at best.
Yeah.
So, like, and I shot it horribly. I recorded the sound horribly, but I still think it's fucking funny and it works. And I think
Yeah.
that's what matters. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I had a friend who messaged me. He's like, "Hey man, this is fucking awesome. Like, how many production crew did you have? What was the blah blah blah?" And I was just like,
Right here.
for the audio listener, it's
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
I did it all, and for better or for worse, that's how I function best. And I
Yeah.
wish that wasn't the case. I love relying on other people, but when it
Right.
comes to stuff like this, like it was all me. It's all me. Like, I literally, I just shot a buddy of mine started a competitive barbecue company,
Oh.
and
Okay.
they're fucking amazing. Shout out to Blind Fox Barbecue in Kansas City. But I spent the weekend shooting a bunch of stuff for them. Like, and he was like, day two, we start off day two, and he's like, "You're shooting so much, like, video. We thought you were just going to shoot pictures." And I'm like, no, motherfucker, like I shoot video, like the pictures
Yeah.
are ancillary. Like I'm gonna shoot
Right.
video and we're gonna make content. We're gonna make all this. And I was
Absolutely.
like,
Yeah.
and I told him, I'm like, you've known me for 30 years. That's fine. But because he's also the bassist in my band
Oh,
whenever I play shows.
yeah.
But like I was like, you've known me this long, but you don't know this side of me. And this side of me is like, no, I'm gonna find the story. I'm gonna
Right.
find the thing that like you're gonna be getting months of in Instagram, TikTok, whatever, out of what I find. Because it was funny because I was there for 2 days, probably a total of like, like 36 hours, and I have 7 hours worth of content that I shot over the thing, not including photographs. And I'm sitting there
Wow.
going like I'm excited to build a story. Like
Yeah.
that's because that's what I do. Like
Right.
that's, and that's why I was excited to do the selling Mahomes thing. Is I'm like that's why I offered to do it. Like this shit isn't paying me. Like nobody's paying me to
Yeah.
do this. Like well, some stuff pays me, but like selling Mahomes doesn't pay me. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I'm sitting there going like, no, I want to do this because at the end of the day, I can point to like I crafted this narrative out of a bunch of awesome, fun people making shit up,
Absolutely.
and then
Yeah.
now here's the story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like yeah.
I can totally get behind that. And, this is a one man show over here.
Yeah,
All the
exactly.
editing,
Yeah,
everything.
that's why I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. So anything
Exactly.
I explain is for maybe the audience that doesn't quite understand.
Right.
You and I function very similarly. It's
Yeah.
like if we're gonna get it done, we're gonna do it. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. I know. I can't open my head and show somebody what I want. I know what's up there. I know what I
Mhm.
need to do and how I want it done. I've tried a few times letting people have portions, and it hurts me.
Mhm.
Not it's
Well,
just I can't.
let
Um,
me ask you this: Does it
okay,
hurt you? Does it hurt you because you haven't? So for me, let me rephrase that. Less
okay,
a question, more of a let me tell you how I am, and you
okay,
tell me how you are.
okay.
It hurts me because they're not in my brain, and I don't want to diminish their creativity and them as an artist by saying this is horribly wrong. It's
Yes,
not what's in my head.
yes, yeah, yeah,
That's where I come from.
yeah,
So like my thing is like to take it to the comics level is like I started inking myself because I couldn't afford to pay someone as an inker. I
right,
started coloring myself because I couldn't stand anyone giving notes to someone
yeah,
and having them do work that they didn't like because I didn't like it.
right,
So
right,
like the two dichotomies of like I loved like my inker on Gearhead, I love him to death. He's a friend of mine, was a fellow student at the Kubert School. Couldn't
yeah,
afford to pay him, so I had to train myself to ink. I
okay,
still think I would be better to this day if he was still inking me. But it wouldn't but my work wouldn't be what it is today. So
right,
but
right,
that said, color-wise, from Gearhead and like especially like unfortunately for the little Marvel work I did, the little Marvel work is really what really fucking cemented. I'm like, I am coloring myself from now on. The guy did a great job.
yeah,
I didn't like it. He did a great job.
yeah,
No
yeah,
offense to him. He
right,
did a great job.
yeah,
I wasn't happy because I was like, I would have treated this completely differently.
right,
He's not in my brain. He doesn't know that.
yep,
So that told me like, all right, from here on out, I color myself. Anyone that says no to that, they better bring a fucking banger A game of a colorist. Otherwise, I'm like, I will walk from the job.
yeah,
So people will be like, oh, okay. Most times, though, in comics, they're like, oh, we're trying to save money. You want to color yourself? Fuck you. You know?
oh yeah,
And I'm like, I'll letter it too.
yeah, yeah,
Even though I have a letterer, I mean, Crank, who's been my letterer on stuff as I have the ability to pay him. Crank is fucking amazing. Like he's my letterer, he's my designer. Like, and he's done a bunch with me, but he understands when I don't do stuff with him. But anyways,
not to
point
take it
being, like,
personal.
no,
Yeah,
he never takes it personally.
right,
Crank's
right,
awesome. Like listen to the Crankcast, listen, whatever. Crank's such a good dude. Listen, talk to anybody he's worked with, and they'll be like, oh yeah, he's professional to a T, no ego,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Love the guy. I forced him to be my friend 20 years ago, and he still is for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's one of those things where, like, again, like, and I think this is why you and I hit it off so well, is like we understand the role of like, if we're gonna do it the way we want it done, we have to do it.
Yes.
If we outsource it, it's not usually
Hmm.
a a time thing. It's usually a like, oh, you I trust.
Right.
And
Yep.
it's not because you do the thing I would do, it's because you do a thing I believe in.
Right.
That's the thing about working with someone like Crank as far as like lettering and design and like, he'll give me feedback on every aspect of production.
Right.
It's like this dude has lettered tens of thousands of pages even before I met him.
Right.
He's lettered so many pages, he's designed so many logos, he's put together so many, sent so many books to print. So like my job is to be the least pain of an ass for him, but also to listen to everything he says and go, I'm only ignoring you for reason A, B, or C. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
you are valid. You have told me that I
Right.
can be better at my job.
Yeah.
I accept that. Here's why we're not doing that right now. You know?
Right.
And
It,
he gets that. And
yeah.
anybody, and especially after working in TV, like working in television, like is so much of like, that's a great idea. We're not going to do it. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. You kind of got to have thick skin, I guess, with that.
It is thick skin. It's also you have to have people talk about thick skin, and thick skin is tough for me now as I get older because I'm like, it's not even about thick skin. It's about realistic skin. It's about
Okay.
realistic notions of how your work is going to be perceived
Right.
and portrayed and whatever.
Yeah.
And none of us even okay, I'll put it this way. Even as a director on Hit Monkey, I'm not Jason Sudeikis. Nobody fucking cares about me.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Nobody, you know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
get
Olivia
that.
Munn.
Right.
I'm not I'm not George Takei. I'm just not.
Right.
So nobody gives a shit what I did.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, like when you have that sort of mindset on like the mindset doesn't become like what did I do? The mindset is what did we make?
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
And it's not about like what any individual's contribution is because that individual's contribution, as massive as it may be, is going to be overlooked because they're like, we want to talk to Jason.
Right. Yeah.
You know, even the guys like the we had some amazing voice artists who worked on like Red Dead Redemption and stuff like that.
Hmm.
They will always, and they're amazing. They're fucking phenomenal, but they
Yeah.
will always get way more attention than director of Hitmonkey. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's fine, great, please,
Right. Right.
because they deserve that.
They do. Yeah.
That's how the audience connects with it. They're not going
Right.
to connect with the dude that's like, so I need the studio in the Philippines to really focus on it. They don't, that's what directing is. Like directing
Right.
is like, yeah, so like the show creators don't really like the jawline on this guy, but they like the jawline on this other head that you've drawn. So they don't
Yeah.
care about that. They
Yeah.
care
Yeah.
about like, oh, you said this cool line in a way that I like, like that's,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
get it because that's what they're hearing out of the show that they're watching.
Right. Right.
Totally fine. Totally fine. It's like in comics, like comics has become such a writer-driven medium that people think that the writer told the artist what to do, even though that's literally not what happens
No.
90% of the time.
Right.
Like it's the writer sets up a scene and then writes dialogue, and then the artist is trying to figure out like what the characters are doing.
Right.
And there's going to be writers and artists that are mad at me about saying it that way, but that's kind of what happened. That's what happens. I've written comics for other people now.
Yeah.
Granted, they won't come out, and I'll have to find other ways for that stuff to come out, but
It-
it's writers are directors.
Yeah.
Sorry. No. I'll take that back. You agreed with me. Don't agree with me.
No. No. Wrong. Yeah.
Artists are directors and first ADs and costume and lighting and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
That includes lettering and color artists and all that stuff. Writers are producers.
Okay.
And to take it back to Nate Bargatze just did an Emmys joke, the opening of the Emmys. Sorry, where he was like listing out like writers do this,
Yeah.
directors do this, producers, because he was doing it in the style of his like Washington speech,
Right.
where he's
Right.
like, and so he's gets and producers, they're so important, and the character asks like, what do they do? And he's like, nobody knows. Writers do a very specific thing, and they do it very well. But there's also productorial element to that, where it's like
Right.
there's a nebulous guiding of things.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that is because there are artists who are flaky. There are artists who don't know what they fucking want. They don't know what they're doing. They need that. And writers and editors often provide that nebulous structural guidance.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so I don't mean to diminish anything that they do.
Yeah. No.
When you're trying to sit there and like as I'm sure you're aware, like every couple months, the artist versus writers like argument comes up on Twitter and now Blue Sky and Instagram and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's I will always argue in favor of artists, and in saying that, I will say it's such a baseless argument
Yeah.
because it's, and here's the part where people get mad at me. It's all co-writing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Artists are co-writers, even in the big two.
Yeah.
Even when you have a writer delivering a script through an editor who then
Right.
delivers it to an artist who has never talked to and will never talk to that writer,
Yeah.
it's still co-writing. Like
Yeah.
that's the through line for me that I
Yeah.
will always make in every podcast, and I probably did it on a previous episode with you. But it's like drawing is writing,
Right.
writing is drawing. It's all co-writing.
Yeah.
So
So,
and that was all very rambling, and I apologize. So
man, I love it. It's always fun having you on the show because, we're going to talk about everything.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
really great. Same with, when we had the panel back in
yeah,
what
yeah.
was it, February, I think it was when, at ArtCon. So,
No, the panel is great. It's just more my face and my size. Like that was February. Oh my God.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. That was
What
February.
did I do with my ear?
Oh, but I mean, that was actually a lot of fun. That was the first. Well, okay, so technically it was my second panel. No, it was my second panel that day, but I'd done some panels, other places. But
Sure.
actually, um, I had you and I had Andy Parks and I had Jeremy Hahn on this one, and you guys kind of just took over and just started
Yeah.
talking, and you made
Yeah.
it very easy for me, as the MC for the moderator for your panel. You guys
Yeah.
just kind of talking amongst yourself, and even with doing this show, when I have somebody on here who has a passion for what they're talking about, they kind of make it easy for me because they
Yeah.
just keep the conversation going.
Well, I mean, in my world, when I go into these sorts of things or like panels or like whatever, if there's a moderator, the one thing I say is like, I will ramble, I will derail, and I will forget what the fucking point is. So
That's exactly what you told me.
yeah, exactly. And I'm like, your biggest job is to keep me on task.
Yeah.
Because and even though I have directed dozens, if not hundreds of people, worked with whatever, I rely on other people. Like I rely on my producers.
Yeah.
Like I rely on my editors. I rely on, whatever. The thing I tell them is a varied version of that depending on what the project is. So if it's music, I'm like, I very rarely work with other people in music, but I will reach out to people and in music wise and be like, hey, I need a POV on this because I'm derailing and you need to get me on track. And and the people I ask that will be like, oh, fuck yeah. Okay, I got you, bro. Same thing happens with directing and storyboarding and comics and stuff like that. Like for me in comics, there's no difference between an editor and a producer. Like the producer and an editor in comics, a producer in TV and an editor in comics do the same exact job, which is like keep the train on the track, keep the deadlines on time, and keep everybody like motivated about what they're doing. And part of keeping people motivated about what they're doing is the thing that I struggle with, which is like, I will derail onto this topic and this thing, and you need to get me back. Be like, no, this is what's important because this deadline and this deadline and this deadline. I'm like, gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Right.
It's not that I can't hit them. It's that I will, and
It,
I don't think I'm ADHD. I don't think I'm ADD, but like
you just get excited, man.
in ADHD language, it's like, no, I will fucking side quest like a motherfucker sometimes. You know what I mean? But it's not because I'm focusing on the wrong thing. It's because I'm deep diving on the thing that's like, we need to be better about this. We need to do this. This is a problem story wise. And with when you're a director working with producers, the director is focused on story and character and acting and execution, and producers are focused on time and budget and
Right.
resources.
Yeah.
So it's as a director and as a story artist, it's not my job to think about those things.
Right.
That it is their job to go, motherfucker, you are a week away from being off time and over budget. So let's fix this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what they get paid to do. And I
Right.
love that. And I've learned to embrace that. And the thing that like for the last like almost coming up on 2 years now, 2 years now of being like away from TV and back in the freelance mode and stuff like that is like I am desperately searching for people to keep me accountable in that realm of like, you were off time and off budget. Let's fix this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, that's what TV, one of the things that TV taught me, like, is collaboration. I already understood collaboration from a comic standpoint, but I didn't understand collaboration from a like no credit standpoint
Gotcha.
because, because the collaboration of 10 seasons roughly of working on Archer,
Hmm.
nobody knows my fucking name. They're gonna look at there and be like, Adam Reed did all this.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's
Yeah.
totally fine. Adam Reed is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Did he come up with what I did? No.
Mm.
But doesn't mean he didn't either. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So like once you remove your ego from stuff and you just really focus on telling the best story that you can, your life gets better, your work gets better, like you learn more, you move faster, and so now it's like, how do I translate? And this is, I'm sorry, this is so meandering from what we were actually talking about, but
It's
like
fine.
now it's like, okay, like I'm working on, I put out a book 10 years ago called Suicide Sisters, and
Yeah.
so I've done a little bit of reprinting of it, and I'm working on like, okay, it is, am I going to do a Kickstarter for reprinting volume one, whatever? But I'm working on new pages. I'm working on
Okay.
I'm working on two new issues.
Yeah.
The one new issue that I'm working on now is I'm sitting there going like, I had somebody ask me today, like, what the fuck is happening in this? Because I had sent them some preview pages and I explained what was happening. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh, that's fucking cool. And I'm like, all right, that lets me know that even though they saw these 3 or 4 pages out of context,
Yeah.
like this new issue is gonna be the weird banger that I want it to be.
Good. Yeah. Okay.
But that doesn't matter because at the same time, I'm going to have to sit there and re-educate people on what Suicide Sisters is.
Right.
But part of that comes to like working in television is like you're constantly having to re-educate the audience on what you're making and what you're doing and why you're doing it. Like I found this with, I don't know that anybody else I worked with on Archer or Hitmonkey understands this because I've never asked. But my internal thing is like, we're constantly trying to make a thing that anyone can enjoy, but also constantly trying to make a thing that everyone who has enjoyed it will keep enjoying.
Right. Yeah.
So that's with comics, like it's helped me understand the comics journey so much more, and that like, oh, this makes the big two's obsession with the middle act make sense
Yeah.
because we all know how Spider-Man started
Right.
back in the 60s.
Yeah.
We don't know how Spider-Man ends,
Yeah.
but we're in this perpetual middle act.
Hmm.
And you're constantly searching for how that middle act has meaning based on where it started and where it could possibly end.
Right. Yeah.
That's making television. And, but also, I'm now in this place of like, oh, I know where my stuff ends.
Yeah.
They don't know that. I need to
Right.
make them, but I need to make them care about the beginning and the middle.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
that's a weird thing. And I apologize because that's super rambly from where we started. So yeah.
No, you're good. You're good. So you're a writer. you're a
Yep.
director. You know, you
Yeah.
do all of these things. Is there one that maybe you enjoy a little more than the other? Because I know
It's changed.
you're one of those that's like, I want to do it all myself.
Yeah.
But is there one of them
Oh, I
like
don't. I don't want to do it all myself. No,
you
no,
don't? Okay.
no.
Oh, or you feel
I
like you have to, kind of thing. Is there one of them that you
man,
enjoy getting to?
two things.
Okay.
Budget
Okay.
and time.
Yeah.
So I do the amount of stuff that I have to do because I can't afford anything else, and I do the amount of stuff that I have to do because no one else has the time.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and this is how every production works. If I had $300 million, I would still talk to you about the same problem. I
Yeah.
would still talk to you. I would still say I don't have enough money and I don't have enough time.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I've learned nothing over the last 15 years of television, it's that I've learned that is that like we had, I won't talk specific numbers, but each episode of Hitmonkey cost twice what the average episode of Archer was, and we never had enough money.
Oh, wow.
Each episode of Archer, we never had enough money. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
always time and money, and that's the same thing with comics. Is it's always time and money. Is it's like and there's other quote unquote editorial problems, like the editorial problem, and I say editorial just meaning of like the outside of. mm, I'll just explain it, and then we'll see if I land it why I call it the editorial problem. But
All right.
with comics, if you want, people want an artist to draw 6 to 12 issues yearly, and that would be their ideal.
Right.
But artists now, for the last 20 plus years, have not been historically that fast. But they've not been historically that fast because editorial has learned to not rely on people, and so they you schedule an artist for the first 4 issues of something, and then you schedule a fill-in. Then that
Okay.
artist comes back and does the next 4 issues. But if that artist blows the first 4 issues and they only do three, they need to fill in on four.
Right.
Sorry for the burp there for your audience. So therefore, editorial is now like, I can't trust you to do the
Yeah.
second set of four. So then
Right.
editorial starts backfilling and starts trying to be like, okay, so now like I can get 2 issues out of this guy that sells numbers mainly, but I got to fill in these two just in case. So they start backfilling and they start filling in fill-in issues
Right.
before the main artist, who is the draw, has even sold issue one. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because that's how far out they have to think, and they've had to morph their ideology, not ideology, but they've had to morph their how they progress on these things
Right.
based on this, because the direct market, I mean, and really like we're the direct market is so different now than it was 6 months ago.
Right. Yeah.
Because with the collapse and implosion of Diamond,
Yeah. Yeah.
what does this look like now? So really, anybody listening, you're listening to someone talk about the direct market as it was a year ago,
Yeah.
and as it was a year ago for the 30 years previous to that.
Hmm.
So now it's like, it's a matter of like, okay, I'm not even going to try to speak to how it works now. I'm just going to speak to how it's been, like
Right.
that sort of thing. And how it's been is, it's these editors, the 90s really did a great job of focusing things on the artist.
Yeah.
They also did a great job of fucking everyone as their perception of the artist as leading the book. So you see in the late 90s, early 2000s, this shift towards a writer centric medium, in a medium that is visually centric.
Yeah.
And I can't argue with it because we got amazing stuff from like Warren Ellis and Bendis and Mark Millar and all this other
Right.
stuff.
Right.
Alan Moore, obviously, and like people that I'm huge fans of. God, I'm blanking on names right now. But it doesn't matter. But anyways, but they didn't take it. They took advantage of it in the sense that editors were offering them work. They didn't make it this way. Editors and publishers made it this way.
Right.
Editors and publishers made it so that they were like, we can rely on these artists. We can rely on these writers. Artists are interchangeable.
Okay.
They started to view it as cogs in the machine, which is very much a 70s and mid 80s sort of way of looking at it.
Okay.
Like in my view.
Right. Right.
So I'm really giving you like a history of things based on my perception, and your audience may come back with be like, he's so fucking wrong right now. But my view of things is that this is what happened. Writers that I have talked to that have benefited from this system don't like the system.
Yeah.
They want artists to be first and foremost. They want artists to be front and all that. But they're also not going to say no when an editor's like, what else you got to pitch us?
Right.
Because as everyone knows, it's much easier for a writer to write 4 books a month than it is for an artist to draw one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have that. And man, I totally lost why I got on this. I apologize.
You're
But
good.
so you end up with an industry now that is severely, for lack of a better term, it's Yellowstone, like Yellowstone National Park.
Okay.
It's a geyser waiting to erupt, and it's overdue.
Yeah.
So like people want art-driven comics. They want artist-driven comics, and
Hmm.
they don't the thing that I've talked to over and over is like people are so willing to just say the writer did all of this.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out a diplomatic way to put this, but I love writers. I work with writers. I love most of my friends are writers. I
Yeah.
love them all.
Yeah.
But it's comics, it's art, it's words and pictures. Pictures
Right.
is the first. And people always talk about that G.I. Joe silent issue. Yeah, Larry Hama wrote a great fucking silent issue, but he's not the one who executed it.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
He's not.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I always come back to is I'm like, if you're so excited about your words, go write prose.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
write prose. You know,
Right.
if you care about words and pictures, that's my girlfriend right there. She's
Hi.
Jared says hi. Oh,
This.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
What your
no.
listeners
Oh, can you
want
transform
to
it?
see.
Can you transform it?
That is really cool.
Give me a second off
Hold on.
screen.
Here. Me.
Not have to do it off screen though.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, abuse. Everyone saw it.
It's on.
Abuse.
It's on camera. Yeah.
For all he's worth. Which is
So,
happening every
her youngest, Ollie, just turned 8, and her mom, his grandparents, took him shopping and got him something that I was literally jealous of.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I will send you a picture of, well, I don't have to send you a picture. I'll show you why I was jealous, but
Let me just show you before I transform.
here,
Like,
let's go.
Oh wow.
Bing.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
You got the. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so-
Yeah. It's got the little cassette that transforms and everything too. That's
Yeah.
that's so cool.
I get, as Kevin says, I get roped into things. Well, and I don't know if you can hear this either, but I'm gonna push play here. Hold on, because there's a little play button.
Yeah.
Could you hear that at all?
Uh-uh.
Hold on, wait. Legos not done themselves. You can't hear it. You can't hear it, but
No, I can't hear it.
it has this little. It has a little box. You hit play,
Yeah.
and it makes noise.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
all right. So hold on. That's gonna take me a second. Dang.
It's okay. You don't have to. I just was.
Are you kidding me? I came down here on purpose. I came down here to show exactly the kind of mom I am.
Cool, mom.
So it's Soundwave, obviously.
Yeah.
And he makes the noises like
The-
whatever. And so, but
Yeah.
it's a Lego. So it's a Soundwave Lego. And
Oh.
when you put it together, it still transforms, which I
Oh,
was
that's
like,
cool.
this is blowing my goddamn mind. Like,
Yeah.
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 So
that's-
right now, what she's trying to do off screen is transform it a little bit. So yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I do
so
a little.
the funny thing about her doing Legos with Ollie, the youngest, is eventually he gets frustrated and gives up. He
Oh.
doesn't give up. He gets tired.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But hyper focused person that she is, I came home today from the studio. She's
Yeah.
got a headlamp on. She's got the Lego instructions going, and
Ah,
she is putting together this guy. So I'm excited to see this guy as a full thing because she's been working hard on this for the last, oh my God, 4+ hours, if not more.
jeez.
Not
Okay.
4 hours. Come
Oh
on.
no.
Don't worry, I knew it was gonna.
Also, welcome to my life, Jared.
Well,
Want
as
me
you
to just
guys
take
can
me got
see,
one
I
down here.
have a ton of toys back behind me. So
I
it's
have loads
I
of
can't hear you. What's he
He
saying?
said he has tons of toys behind him.
Oh yeah,
But his
yeah,
yeah,
toys
yeah.
are in the box. So if
they are.
when
Yeah.
Stacy was here right now, she'd be like, "Why is this still in the box?" And then she'd rip it out of the box.
Also, I just realized that was a Power Rangers thing with that spike behind you. Is that what that is? Like
This
the
one?
yeah, that one. Yep. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's Lord Zed.
What do you say?
Um,
He said it's Lord Zed.
I don't know anything about Power Rangers, but I reckon there's a style there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Most of
I
my toys back there are Power Rangers, so but
I
I got
have
a bunch of Funkos
tons.
of them.
I have tons of vinyl figures. Sorry, Funkles
Do
are
you?
fine. Well,
Yeah.
no, I'm just gonna tell you. Come on, come on. Why are you messing around with Funkos? You should
Because they're
have
making the
Dunnies.
stuff they're
That's
making the
you know
stuff that
what?
I want right now. So
Oh, it's all right. Like,
yeah.
I'm sorry. People would hate me for that because they'd be like, "You're so mean and you talk smack on stuff." I'm like, why don't you go
Which
get like blind boxes? That's my crack. Unfortunately, William at Elite Comics found that out real fast and was like, "We're gonna exploit this." Every time I'd come in, I'd be like, "Where's? I just want to open the boxes." I
that's
seriously, I had this like dream one time that I would just be like in the store and he would come in and I would just have all the blind boxes ripped open. Jessica, what are you doing? You know, that kind of thing.
yeah, yeah.
That I have like Rubbermaid containers full of Dunnies.
Okay.
So
I've
that's
never looked into them, so I'm gonna have to look that
oh,
up.
they're
Dunnies.
awesome.
Okay.
Dunnies. So the cool thing about Dunnies is that they were done like artists, well, like a
Yeah,
local artist here, Scribe. He
yeah.
actually had a Dunny that he did. But like Amanda Vissel, oh my God, there's some gosh. I'm like, I can't even like name them now. Like I'm so embarrassed I'm on the spot. I was just
You're
all I
okay.
wanted to show off
You're
my logo.
You're
I'm
good.
not there yet. I'm there.
Sorry.
I know he is like, oh my God, this will be the longest podcast ever because Jessica.
No,
Oh,
he's talked to me before. He knows how much I can ramble. So,
I just did I had split it into two parts an episode a few weeks ago
well, at least just show
with
turn it face forward.
with a guy from the show Preacher. He
Oh,
actually,
really?
yeah, he played TC in Preacher. Colin Cunningham, he was in Falling Skies and a bunch of other stuff. And we ended up recording out of the gate. He told me, he was like, I want to record like 3 hours. I was like, okay. So we ended up doing like 2.5 hours, and I had to split it up into like two parts
That would be
for the
Kevin.
show.
Kevin likes to talk also because he's like stuck with children. So it's like, oh God. Either he like got 3 children, not like two, and my two, you know. He got
That's the way it is at my house. I've
yeah.
got two teenagers, and I'm the biggest kid out of all of them.
Yeah, I'm totally a kid. I
Yeah.
mean, I I'm so terrible. I run into my 13-year-old's room and I throw a tennis ball at him when he's not looking and wait for our Australian Kelpie to come charging in and then
Yeah.
pile drive him
Oh, that's
because he
great.
hip
Yeah.
checks me all the time. And so I'm like, that's it. I'm just gonna get the dog to do my dirty work. So, and she will. And then I like, I play this game. I play tag with my dogs. I
Yeah.
go tag and then I run off. And you
I,
just have to, it's like a bear kind of situation. I
yeah,
just have to outrun my kids.
exactly. Exactly.
So,
I do collect a little bit of everything. So, I've got like my own ocarina and stuff for,
What's he saying?
oh yeah.
Oh, that's
from Ocarina of Time. And my wife is she's not like a geeky person like me by any means, but she's very
Yeah.
supportive of it. So she's
I love it.
always buying me this stuff, like the LED sign behind me with the acronym of my
Yeah.
podcast. She got that for me for Christmas.
That's awesome.
So yeah, she's very supportive.
That is really nice that she's supportive. I usually just go to like when I'm out at the conventions, I go, Kevin, I want that. But and it's art. I want art. Like
Yeah,
that's I love the art. That's
yeah,
always been my thing. I mean, I like the books. I couldn't read until I was in third grade, so I mean,
Okay.
looking at pictures was my
Yeah.
thing. But
Yeah.
also, I lived in a very cruel, cruel world. I'm 44, and I had girls who were like, "Oh my God, that's so weird." So I was definitely in the closet
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
real. So I mean, I was the girl that was running around the neighborhood like a Ninja Turtle. I did
Heck
not want
yeah.
to be April O'Neil. Everyone's like,
No.
"Don't you want to be April O'Neil?" I was like, "Fuck that bitch." I'm Casey Jones, man.
Oh
Such
yeah.
a psycho. I'm such a psycho.
I was
One of
always
the best people I introduced her to, and she ended up getting a bunch of prints, and he was also super kind to gift her a bunch of prints, was Chris Schweitzer. Yeah, that
yeah,
dude, he
yeah.
rules. But
That's
also,
so
like,
cool.
our house is now like just filled with Schweitzer prints. Like,
Are you talking about like my Quigley Down Under? Like
yeah,
that was the
yeah.
thing. I was like, oh my God, if you're gonna cry, cry. He's like, oh, she really does know the movie. Yeah. All right, I think I got it.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
I think. I don't know. He's got like weapons and stuff, but those are upstairs. Well,
That's okay.
That is
No,
so cool.
Soundwave is one of my favorites. And so,
Yeah.
like, Ollie, yeah. He was super stoked to pick this out, and he was super stoked to find out that, like, this is like, no, this is the version of Soundwave that is perfect.
Wow.
well, my
Wow.
mom was like, oh my, here, you can hold it.
I just was
I'm
trying to
sorry.
get you.
Well, you better hang on to like
No,
the
no,
wings
okay.
of it,
No,
really
okay.
bust it and all these things.
We're good.
He doesn't even know it's done, actually.
So the other thing is, she always gets roped into finishing his Lego projects. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. My my
Well,
son loves like
don't keep this down here like this.
he has a don't get me a Lego set unless it's over this amount.
oh,
Like
that
he
sounds like
wants the bigger the better is what he
you get along
wants.
great with Jeremy Hahn and his kids
Yeah,
because when I see the stuff they buy, I'm like,
I know.
You've
Yeah.
had Jeremy on recently, right?
Yeah, I've had him on twice now. Yeah.
Nice.
So,
like when I was a kid, if you got to somebody's house and they had like a beverage refrigerator in their garage, you were like,
yeah.
I've hit the big time, right?
Yeah.
But now it's like you walk into somebody's house and they got the fucking Lord of the Rings set. You're like,
Yeah.
oh shit, right? Like
Yeah,
that's how you know you've made it.
exactly.
Drink French doesn't matter anymore. So here's the little.
Oh, that is so cool. Oh, wow.
So there's another one upstairs. I
Yeah,
didn't bring it down, but this one's the bird.
that is really cool.
Turns into
I love that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, my mom. I swear. I'm getting nothing when she dies. My kid's getting it all.
Oh, I tell my kids
Yeah, but you wouldn't have any anyway.
this is what they inherit whenever I'm gone.
Oh
So,
yeah. When my
yeah.
kids see the stuff they're getting from, I'm like, just so you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's not, you're not getting that with me.
Yeah.
You're seeing the shit I have in my house. You're
Yeah,
getting
exactly.
art
Yeah.
that Kevin says is worth nothing, but and like my Legos and my Dunnies and other random toys that I have, but whatever.
I'm gonna have to look up Dunnies for sure though.
I'm serious. Like
yeah.
vinyl figures.
Okay.
I have
That's a lot.
there was a set called Scary Girl, which
Okay.
what's crazy is that when they made the movie and it came out on Hulu, I was like, what the fuck? I was collecting those like I didn't want to talk about how long ago it was. It was like 20 years ago and they just now made a movie.
Oh my gosh,
I
yeah.
have those. Those are some of
Yeah.
the ones that started me off. But then yeah, the Dunnies, I do love the Dunnies just
Yeah.
because I just want to see what's inside that box.
Yeah.
Right. It's like
Yeah.
now blind boxes are like $20. I'm
I
like,
know.
no, sorry. You know what?
Yeah.
We got all bougie. I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
got now. That's why people collect Funko. I'm not trying to be rude, but
Oh, definitely. I mean,
you're not gonna see Dunnies going. Listen, I have some big Dunnies. I also have one of my favorite artists, which oh man, they're super expensive. It's like museum quality, kind of like you're gonna go to a gallery opening to see these plastic figures. But it's coarse.
okay.
And I have this one that's called Paw, and it's a gorilla monkey.
Okay.
One paw down, it's huge.
Uh-huh.
And then he's got his legs like he's holding himself up with
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
super rad. I love it. But that guy makes some really, really cool stuff. So
Okay.
you might not want to check it out because then it'll be really expensive.
Yeah, one of those things
Yeah.
I might never financially recover from this. Yeah.
I know, I'm so sorry. But like the Dunnies, they have them little tiny ones.
Yeah.
And then they have like, I'm not good with measurements either. I just try to, I don't
That's all
have
good.
looks much longer. So I'm really like riding that look train as much as I can because the people are gonna realize how dumb I am. But the Dunnies, they come in different sizes, so there's actual bigger ones, but
Yeah.
they were the ones that like honestly when it came to like vinyl figures 20 years ago, probably more than that. they would only release so many. And when I
Yeah.
say so many, I'm talking like maybe like 500.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But so they released them. So then they had a store in New York, which
Yeah.
they're like nowhere else. And
Right.
people would stand in line and piss me off so bad because I'd see like instantly on eBay those bastards
Right.
would have them $600 online. I'm like, no.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I got lucky a couple of times and was able to get like the bigger ones. They're like this big, but I don't know. It was
This is real.
I do have others. I have I have the Lady Thor. I had to get that.
Oh, okay.
You know, just
yeah.
to be like, hey, Jason.
Yeah.
That's what I got. I'm cool now too. That's the only one I have. No others. Like they're so expensive, but I do have hers, and then he broke his head. Great, good job.
Oh, good
And
job.
I yell at Kevin all the time. I'm like, clean the bedroom, because the Thor statue's in the bedroom because I trust it nowhere else in the house right now.
Yeah.
And I even said that I barely trust it with Kevin, and I asked one of my best friends, I was like, can I bring my Thor statue over to your house? And he goes, are you kidding me? This thing is huge. It's huge. You might have seen it, right? And they're like,
Yes.
you want to take it to your best friend's house? I'm
2
like,
feet tall. Yeah.
but if you saw how many like figures he had,
Yeah.
it makes sense that I would trust him with it.
Right.
This is rad.
That is really cool. Yeah.
I'll let you get back to what everyone really wants to talk to, and that's Kevin.
Hey, it was very nice meeting you.
Way more entertaining than of us.
Nice meeting you. I heard, you know what? I came down actually just to make sure that you actually were saying accurately correct things that you can say about the mortgage industry.
Yeah. No, I'm sure I fucked it up. So yeah.
That's good. That's the interpretation of every single person trying to buy a house. They have no idea what they're doing, and they seem to think they do. And they should just trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Absolutely.
I heard you say something in film industry, and so selling the homes. Selling the homes. Please go watch it.
Yeah.
And then say that, Kevin and Jessica said that. So that I can get kudo points for being business development.
There you go. Yeah.
I wouldn't have had any of the opportunity to make that I did without her. So
Right.
Let me just tell you also, I'm very good with the nerd culture. My best friend who I said I would take my figure to, he had a really nice house. Like, it was fine. It was perfectly fine. I like it. Thanks. I feel so weird holding this mic. God.
It's just because you can't hear him laughing.
But I told him, I said, don't you think you deserve a bigger house for all of your comic books and figures and stuff? And he started laughing, and then right before they shut down everything during COVID, like literally the day before.
Yeah.
We were at the title company and he was closing on his brand new house. And I was like, your figures will be so happy, right? You need to upgrade because you don't have enough room. So William at Lee, he keeps getting people, he's their dealer. Mm-hmm. So he feeds them full of, and then I'm like, listen, your house isn't big enough, so it's time to upgrade.
Yeah.
Right? You don't want to put that in storage. No. You want it out. So let's get you that bigger house, right?
This podcast is in association with the Three Ranger Bros Studios. What exactly is the Three Ranger Bros Studios, you ask? Well, let me explain. The Three Ranger Bros Studios is three particular content creators, myself, Ty Tiger, Cosplay Dude 637, and the Red Cornish Ranger, who came together as friends and decided to make a content creator group. The Three Ranger Bros Studios hosts all different types of content, a lot of nerdy and geeky content, talking about their favorite things within Marvel, DC, Power Rangers, different types of comics and video games, and so much more. Not only that, but we also create audio dramas together, we have a podcast, and there is so much for you guys to dive into. Not only that, we have 6 additional members that we have dubbed the Council, and the host of If You Give That a Podcast, Jared, is one of those council members. We're on TikTok under the name Three Ranger Bros Studios. We have a YouTube channel also known as the Three Ranger Bros Studios. Both of them will host lots of different nerdy and geeky content. You'll also find our podcast on the YouTube channel. And then we also have the Three Ranger Bros Audio Library, which is another YouTube channel where you guys can find our collective collaborative audio dramas that all 3 of us have worked on and came together and brought you some amazing stories for you guys to listen to. We are the Three Ranger Bros Studios. You should come check us out.
That was fun. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So nice deviation. So
nice deviation. Talking about
again,
toys,
leaving as much as you're comfortable with. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's cool. She's cool with all of it. So whatever you want to cut out is up to you. So
she seems really cool, man.
She's great.
Yeah, she seems awesome.
Yeah, she puts up with my shit. So I mean, what am I to complain about?
There was one thing that you did bring up, and it just excited me. And that's
Sure.
you brought up Kansas City BBQ.
Yeah. Yeah.
I,
Oh
I I'm
man.
I grew up around the Memphis area, but Kansas City has the best.
It does. I've had Memphis barbecue. I've had Carolina barbecue. I've had Atlanta barbecue. I've had other,
Yeah.
St. Louis. As much as they attempt to claim their own St. Louis style pizza, it's nobody likes crackers and pepperoni. So
Yeah.
fuck
Yeah.
them. But no, like Kansas City, I would say though that the thing that I have learned since being back here full time. So, for those who don't know, I grew up here.
Yeah.
I moved to Atlanta in beginning of 2012, and then when the industry meaning TV and animation and all that stuff shit the bed,
Yeah.
during 2023, I made the decision to move back to Kansas City. So I've been here almost coming up on it's September now, so coming up on almost 2 years because I moved back November of 2023. So
Okay.
the thing that I will say, and this is, I preface all of this timeline stuff just to say that I've had a lot of time to think about it and to digest, and Kansas City barbecue is the best barbecue.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's really all. I was saying all of that personal information just to say that, like, no, we're the best and we rule, and y'all can suck it.
Yeah.
What I will say though is there is bad Kansas City barbecue, and I'm not going to tell you what that is. But I'm
Okay.
going to tell you what the good stuff is,
Yeah.
and that's easy. Uh, the hard part is though is the best Kansas City barbecue you're never going to find in a restaurant, because I just spent a couple days videographing. My buddy runs a barbecue competition company called Blind Fox Barbecue, and they're fucking amazing, but they're not in a restaurant.
Okay.
And they're competing around regionally and stuff like that.
Right.
But if you want the best restaurant barbecue, man, you can go to places, you can go to Zarda and you can get a bunch of meat slopped with sauce.
Yeah.
You can go to Oklahoma Joe's, which they rebranded themselves as Joe's Kansas City, but everybody who's been here, those who know
Oklahoma
it's
Joe's. Yeah.
it's called Oklahoma Joe's.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for it on Google Maps, it's Joe's Kansas City. Joe's is fine.
Yeah.
It's tasty. They slop it with sauce. It's fine.
Yeah.
As you can hear, the consistency of what I'm saying is slap it with sauce.
Yep.
Barbecue
Yep.
sauce is not barbecue.
No.
It's not. It's
No.
just not.
Right.
The best barbecue in the world is not sauce based. It's meat and cook based. Like it's the person behind it. It's the people making it. It's the literal blood, sweat, and tears, and sweat meaning salt that they
Right.
put into their meat.
Yep.
And that's where I gotta go with, like, there's a place out here by us it's called Woodyard.
Yeah.
And it's because it's in a fucking lumberyard. It's a place that's literally a house in the middle of a lumberyard.
Yeah.
They have limited seating. They
Yeah.
run out of shit. The best barbecue places run out of stuff. If you
Right.
go to a barbecue place and they have burn ends at 10 o'clock at night, I gotta question those burn ends are being fake burn ends.
Right.
And burn ends are something that a lot of places fake.
Yes.
A lot of places here fake.
Yep. Yep.
So I mean, yeah. So I have very specific ideas on that stuff, and
Right.
but yeah, Woodyard's great. I will say, from a chain standpoint, there's a place here called Q39 that
Okay.
is really good. There's like two of them that
Uh-huh.
do a fucking business. They're always busy. And then then you can get into the other locations that are more chain based, whatever. But like,
Right.
and I'm not even doing due justice to the other mom and pop barbecue places that are in the suburbs and stuff like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's like, if someone comes here and they recommend, and I don't know anybody there, so I feel safe saying this, if they come here and they recommend you Zarda, don't go.
Really.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't go.
Okay.
Don't go.
Yeah.
Zarda is a sauce-based place.
Yeah.
Their meat cuts are terrible. The biggest thing you'll get is the Midwestern thing of them saying, "How may I help you?" when you walk in. Like, that's the thing about Zarda. You can
Yeah.
walk in, they'll say that, and then you can be like, "All right, I got that experience," and then you leave.
Yeah.
Because the actual food is.
Yeah. It is what it is. Yeah.
not what I would suggest.
Yeah. So,
So yeah.
I actually took my kids a little while ago. There's a big chain, but they don't get barbecue when they go there, but they love some of the other things that they have. And I got the ribs while I was there, and I've ruined myself. And I tried eating. I didn't even finish what I had and everything. And I was like, man, I can do a much better job of this on my own on my smoker
Yeah.
at home.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Well, and that's kind of I feel like my buddy with his competition team was like it's not that they felt that they could do a better job. They just were so just dissatisfied with like the overall, like there's a lot of good barbecue in KC.
Yeah.
Sorry, barbecue in KC. Barbecue is a different thing. But like they just were sitting there going like, man, like we're smoking stuff in our backyard that tastes just as good as this. Like what's
Right.
going on,
Right.
And I'm not trying to discount the man hours and the tough barbecue is fucking tough. Like I
It is.
did videography for your audience. Like something I do in when I can is I shoot short films, I shoot music videos, commercials, whatever. Like, and I haven't done a lot of commercial stuff, but my friend hired me to shoot this barbecue competition he was at this last weekend. Not because they expected to win, but just because to have content to put out,
Right.
because
Yeah.
barbecue competitions stop over the winter. So they
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
stuff to continually push. And,
Yeah.
and so it's like, I spent like 36 hours, 6 hours worth of actual video content and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the thing that like watching them and watching these other teams compete and stuff like that is like, they love it. Like, and I'm sitting here tasting this barbecue and I literally told my friend, I'm like, this is the best barbecue I've had in my life. And I watched all of them go, could be better.
And you're like, what?
And I was like, I get this because every page I put out online for people to look at and people say it's good. I'm like, could be better.
Creativity's in everything, man.
Yeah, creativity isn't everything. And the thing that the thing that I'm excited about and the things that I was excited about for them is number one, they're so burnout on barbecue. They love making it and they enjoy the process.
Right.
They sent me home with so much food.
Really?
But the more important thing is they sat there and they won a bunch of stuff. They didn't win first place in anything, but they won a bunch of awards.
Yeah.
And all they did in their postmortem afterwards was like, all right, we now have we have stuff we need to work on.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, these are my people.
Yeah.
It's a completely different medium, but
Right.
they're sitting there, they're looking at like they want. I was sitting there asking them, like, do these judges give you like a here's what didn't work and here's what didn't? And they're like, no, we just have to guess based on their percentage scores and all this other stuff. And I'm like,
Wow.
oh my God, this is so same with the art world.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
even an editor that you like and love and works with you day to day will oftentimes not give you why something didn't work.
Right.
You have to guess. You have to do your homework. You have to do your own work. And I'm like, God, you're my people. You're my fucking people. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But because they think of what I do as creative.
Yeah.
And it's always a teaching thing. Like whether it's a lawyer or a doctor or an auto mechanic or whatever, I'm sitting there going like, no. What you do is creative too.
Yeah.
If anything, you're probably more creative than I am because I have a blank piece of paper, but you have a fucking car to start with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you have really got a lot to figure out.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there going like, I can make up a car and people would be like, oh, that's kind of a car.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, thumbs up,
Yeah.
No, you have an actual car and you have actual people with real problems that you have to quote unquote fix.
Right.
Same thing with barbecue. It's like you have actual people who are sitting there going like, I want to taste the best thing I've ever tasted in my life.
Right.
That's really, and that's such a simple sentence to say. And that's what comics people want is they're like, I just want to read something amazing, you know?
Yep.
And same thing with TV. Like I don't diminish TV. Like I don't mean to not talk about TV, even though it's been like literally a third of my life.
Yeah.
It's just that like I come from comics. That's where my heart is. That's where my passion is. I I am passionate about TV, but it's my examples, even working in TV, my examples in TV were always like, well, in comics we did this, and
Yeah.
here's why we did it. And
Right.
people would be like, oh, that makes sense. And
Right.
then we would find a TV translation for that. And so like even now, like even though like people want to hear me talk about Archer, they want to hear me talk about Hitmonkey or Black Lightning, Vampire Diaries, whatever, like I'll sit there and it'll always come back to comics because in comics, as I've learned with in barbecue, it doesn't matter. Two things matter. Two things matter is that you're passionate about it and then how it tastes.
Right.
And comics,
Yep.
how how does it read? How do you feel? Like it's the same
Right.
thing as how it tastes. And it's
Yep.
like you read the first couple of pages of something. If you're not in,
Yep.
you're not in. It
Right.
doesn't
Right.
matter how it sits
Yeah.
after you get it in you,
Yeah.
whether you read it or whether you ingest it or whatever. It's like you're sitting there like, nope, not good. you know. I don't know. I know that's meandering and wandering, and I apologize, but yeah.
No, that's fine. That's fine. We're actually coming up close to a close here and
Sure.
everything.
Yeah.
I've just got a couple more things to ask you and everything before I get
Please.
you off of here.
Yeah, please. Yeah, yeah.
You know, I kind of wanted to touch on this because I had somebody on a while back ago and we touched on this just a little bit. I haven't got to talk to a lot of artists about this, and
Okay.
that's the use of AI.
Sure.
Um, I I know it's become a major issue. I think I've even seen some people who have like, you know, they're not in comics anymore because they were using AI and stuff. What is your kind of your what's your take on it? Like how do you feel about it and how
Sure.
it's being used?
So my take and my feeling on how it's being used is the same thing. It's a tool.
Yeah.
If you are someone who is creative and you're looking for ways to streamline what you're doing or looking for okay, so I'll deviate here for a second.
Okay.
Actually, no, let me finish my point. Let me finish my points. So two sides. One is it's a tool.
Uh-huh.
If you're creative, it's a tool. If you
Yeah.
are not creative, it is also a tool.
Yeah.
But the non-creative, quote unquote non-creative, because I'm not trying to sit there and say these people who use it to execute things that they physically and mentally cannot execute are not creative. They may have the
Right.
best idea in the world.
Right.
It's the quote unquote non-creative is the person coming up to a creative and saying like, I've had the best idea for these years. You should help me fix it. You should help me
Okay.
finish it. You should help me do it.
Yeah.
And all these artists going like, yeah, stand behind the 30 ideas I've got that do the same thing.
Right.
That's what AI is for those people. That's AI for those people who have been sitting there struggling, like being like, I can't afford an artist, I can't afford a writer, I can't afford blah blah blah. AI is their tool to be lazy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And I mean being lazy in all essence of the word, because if you are a person who is writing a prompt and thinking of yourself as an artist or a writer,
Yeah.
you're being lazy. And I don't mean that negatively. You're being
Okay.
lazy and it's okay because you're being lazy because you have had a whole last life going on while having these dreams.
Yeah.
And you want to make something, but you don't have the time, the money, the inclination, like what you don't have the resources. AI provides a resource.
Right.
So yes, you are willing to be creatively empowered
Hmm.
while being lazy,
Right.
but also the artist who treats everything. I am the artist. Everything I use is a tool.
Yeah.
If I lose this hand tomorrow, which unfortunately I don't draw with, but if I lose
Yeah.
this hand tomorrow, which this
Yeah.
is the one I draw, is if I
Yeah.
lose this hand tomorrow, I will either learn how to draw with this one or I will learn to use the tools available to me to make things.
Right.
So therefore, AI is a tool.
Yeah.
In no different from the person who did not know how to draw, did not know how to write. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
No different from the person who has no inclination of the creative process and the 30 years I've spent, 30 plus, like I'm 46. So like we're talking like at bare minimum 36 years,
Yeah.
if not 40, of like learning how to do this.
Right.
The thing that I understand though is like the person that has spent 4 minutes learning how to do this via AI and me having spent 40 plus years learning how to do it physically.
Yeah.
The only difference at that point is what does it look like and how does it feel? How do people feel when looking at it?
Right.
Because if I spend days and hours and weeks and years of my life pouring myself into something and nobody feels anything, but someone looks at a 3-minute generated AI thing and they feel something,
yeah,
I've got some work to do.
Right.
That doesn't mean that AI did anything fucking phenomenal. It means that like we've focused on different things.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm constantly studying movie. I'm constantly studying TV. I'm constantly studying these things and constantly studying storytelling. And one of the greatest benefits of studying storytelling in other mediums is listening to people talk about, especially film and TV people. They don't talk about what they used to make it. Because what they used to make it is very boring. They used a bunch of cameras. They used a bunch of rigs. They had a bunch of lights. They had a bunch of people in place. All of that stuff is important.
Right.
But it's not important to how you feel.
Right.
They talk about, so like you can sit there when a movie shot on an iPhone does better than a movie shot with IMAX cameras. It's not about the quality of materials. It's about what it made you feel.
Right. Yeah.
That's so when we talk about AI, that's where I have kind of arrived at how I view it and how I feel about it is 80 to 90% of it leaves me feeling cold.
Right. Okay.
That doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah.
It just means it's a tool being used incorrectly by people who don't have an emotional goal.
Right. Okay.
And if you have an emotional goal, then the tool doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because let me take it to if you're building a house.
Okay.
100 years ago, they didn't have
right.
a nail gun. They didn't have a nail gun. They were hammering every nail by hand and hurting their hands.
Exactly.
If you ask them what would make their life easier, they'd be like, something that doesn't fucking hit my hands every time I hit a nail.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
So that's the struggle I have with both AI and talking about AI.
Okay.
Is getting people to understand their negotiation, not even a relationship, but their negotiation with the tool.
Yeah.
So I can hand you a pair of scissors, or you can. Do you remember as a kid when you learned to fold a piece of paper in half and wet it with your tongue and then tear it?
Yep.
Those are two ways of doing the exact same thing. Which one is more efficient? Well, neither is more efficient if you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
Because you can sit there and take a pair of scissors and be like, and it's like, yeah, it's a clean cut, but it's all over the place.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that to me is where we're at with AI.
Okay.
The other thing I'll say, and a lot of people don't like this, but because I've said it to dozens of people over the last year and a half, without naming names, I did a video editing job. I did an editing job for a company where they had me, and I'm going to be slow on this, so edit this how you need to, but I have to say it without saying things that say what the job was. But
right. Okay.
But short version, as short as I can make it, I ended up editing hours and hours of video of people talking, and these people talking were government contractors, government government and like cybersecurity people and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, my dog is going nuts, so I apologize if you can
hear
you're good.
Him. Yeah, no, you're good.
So it's hours of government people and government contractors talking, and they're talking about cybersecurity and talking about AI. Sorry, hey buddy, what's going on? Hey, what's going on? How are you doing? Sorry, he's being a little shy.
Oh, you're good.
Okay. So, okay. I love him. He's been weird the last 2 days. So.
It's okay.
Um. Anyway, so I'm editing these videos, and I at the time, we're talking mid 2024, so not that long ago. I at the time thought we were. I was very much in the. I we're fighting the AI war right now, right?
Right. Yeah.
With creativity and all this other stuff.
Yep.
Listening to these people who are doing cyber stuff, cybersecurity, network security, government stuff, like government slash big corporation stuff within minutes, let alone the many hours of these people talking, and we're talking high level people
Yeah.
on all fronts, military, government, whatever. And listening to these people talking about AI, I had a thing in my head of the battle of AI as a now thing.
Okay.
Fucking wrong. Wholly wrong. That battle was fought 10 years ago, 15 years ago. We are cooked. It's in. It's in. It's in every part of our society and government, especially from a governmental standpoint. It is and has been being used in ways we don't comprehend as a public.
Yeah.
For years.
Yeah.
So anybody sitting there and talking about AI as like, we've got to win the war. We lost. It's done
already. Yeah.
It's been done.
Yeah.
And I don't say that to be negative. I say that as like, if you were anti-AI, you need to reframe your argument as like, we're fighting a war, as in like, no, I am living off grid. The AI war is basically like, okay, like horses versus cars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's done. It's done. People are driving cars.
Right, right.
So if you choose to ride a horse, more power to you. You just have to understand how much harder your life is going to be, because that's not how the world works. And I'm not saying this as a matter of fact. I'm saying that this is what the conclusion I came to after weeks of listening to this stuff and months and plus I get asked by companies, and I won't name them, but I get asked by companies to give feedback on certain things, and a very, very powerful company in the illustration game very much asked me to be helpful with them training AI on doing storyboards and helping animation and stuff like that. This was about 6 months before I did what I'm just talking about, editing the stuff that had to deal with government.
Yeah.
And what I didn't understand when they were talking to me was how far ahead they were with this, and that their conversation with me was like, we don't need you. We would just like your participation.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They didn't say that. That's me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They wanted my help with making AI creating television easier.
Yeah.
Totally fine. I understood the need and I was willing to help.
Yeah.
I could not help them in the way they wanted because I don't own what they wanted.
Right. Okay.
But again, it's not a matter of like these things occurring to me in a moment. It's a matter of like months and a year plus of like, oh, A plus B plus I am so fucking far behind. And your audience may have different opinions on this, different resources, but from my resources and my experience, the conclusion I came to is the battle is lost.
Right.
As far as like using AI.
Yeah.
I can't open Photoshop without AI being a part of it anymore.
Right.
I can't open even if I didn't opt in. I did opt in on ChatGPT on my iPhone. Just be like, fuck it, whatever, because I had already been through what I just told you about.
Right.
So opting into ChatGPT was like, this is already a foregone conclusion, like whatever.
Yeah.
Siri is already AI.
Yeah.
Google has been AI based for years without telling us.
Right.
Bing, AI. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where it's like when people want to sit there and be sanctimonious about it, I'm like, support you 100%. fucking love you, support you, whatever.
Yeah.
You lost this. You lost
Right.
this before you even had a feeling about it.
Right. Yeah. That's
That's
scary though too.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The,
Hey, yes,
yeah.
scary.
There I don't know if you saw this. I saw this the other day. I was on TikTok and there's a guy that I follow that does like world news and stuff.
Mhm.
And there's actually a country who has a representative that is an AI now that is helping them to like be a
I saw that. I have
diplomat.
not looked
And I was
into
like,
it.
what?
I saw the headlines,
Yeah.
and I forget what the exact headline was, so I'm gonna butcher it. But what it was something to the and you probably saw the same headline I did, which is divided country elects AI blah 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 AI like leader in order to
Yeah.
streamline. Like basically,
Yeah.
it was like
Yeah.
we can't decide. Let the fucking computer decide.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what it was.
One,
Yeah.
fucking wild. Two, totally get it because
Yeah. Yeah.
we live in America, and I'm like,
Yep.
might not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
I don't say that as a left or right thing. I say that
Right.
as a
This is a
I live in middle America. I am
yeah.
middle America. It's as fuck.
Yeah.
All of it is gross to me. All of
Yeah.
it. Both
Absolutely.
sides are fucking gross to me.
Yeah.
And I sit there going like, what can we do? And having I don't advocate having an AI moderator, but I
Right.
get it. I get
Yeah.
it. I
I do
get it.
get it. Yeah.
I fucking get it. You know, yeah. And I apologize to your audience
Oh,
for not for my opinions, but for not being more well spoken about this, because we are talking about stuff that is very much in the moment and
it
of the
is.
moment.
Yeah.
And even the stuff that I explained about, like, you know, like even the stuff that I'm talking about where like my realization that our battle with AI was lost a decade ago
Right.
is my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is my opinion. And but I don't feel like I am that far off the mark, but it's because I have knowledge of watching these things and watching these speakers and watching these people in government, in tech,
Right.
that nobody else has access to.
Right.
Well, nobody else that isn't a paid member of these organizations when they go to these events. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
why I can't say who they are, is because I'm
Right.
like, that will,
Yeah. Exactly.
I
Yeah.
won't have any more editing work if I say that. But I can be
We don't
very,
need that.
I can have some plausible deniability by saying it as vaguely as I have.
Yeah.
But what I can say is that this technology and these people, they don't they so I'm trying to think of how to word this, because I want to word this in the best way possible, not because I'm trying to protect them, but because it needs to be positive, and not because I'm trying to cover a negative. It's because people in general are they think they're doing good. Even
Right.
when they're doing something negative, they think they're doing something good.
They
And
think they're
so
on the
what
right side.
yes.
Yeah.
And they might be. I
Right.
don't, with this stuff, there's a lot of stuff where you can say you're on the wrong side when it
Yeah.
comes to abusing people, harming people, bombing people, shooting people. What you can sit
Right.
there, those are easy things.
Yeah.
But when it comes to literally everything I do,
Yeah.
me personally, not
Yeah.
you, not anybody else,
Right.
but literally everything I do can be done by AI now. Can it be done better? I don't know, but it can be done by AI. So I am unhireable.
Yeah.
So
Well,
when I say these things, color them with, like, I have my own ego involved and all that stuff. But what I will say is we lost the battle on AI and its place in our lives. It's
right.
done. It's
Right.
done. Corporations, and it's done to the sense that, like, these people giving these talks to government and other cybersecurity and all that stuff are excited about the labor costs they can save using AI.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So when machines, the easiest example I have is when machines came online at auto factory places. That was a massive deal at the time.
Right.
And it was a massive deal that the human workforce did not fight enough, for better or for worse.
Right.
For better, we have more efficient, we have not more efficient, we have efficient car manufacturing processes. There's things that like humans aren't getting hurt, they're not losing fingers, they're not losing hands, stuff like that.
Yeah.
For worse, we lost the literal middle of America that was car manufacturing is non-existent.
Yeah.
We have laws now. I play guitar, and this applies to cars as well, but the guitar thing is a much more specific thing that I'll say. And I apologize if I'm keeping you way too late.
Oh, you're good.
Okay, but the guitars are interesting because, and it cracks me up every time I think about it. I literally I will laugh in the middle of the day some days because I think about this.
Yeah.
California has a law that if it's not explicitly, and I correct me if I'm wrong, audience, but my understanding is if it's not explicitly crafted, built, and made in America, it cannot say made in America. So Fender Guitars has shifted to saying built in California.
Oh, okay.
Because the parts come from China, Korea, like what, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Which, if you buy a Mexican Strat, it's going to say made in Mexico. You buy a Japanese Strat, it's going to say made in Japan, like whatever.
Right.
But the made in USA, and I don't know, and this is where my knowledge gets a little wonky. I don't understand. But if it's a California made Fender guitar, it will say assembled in America, that sort of thing. Like it doesn't say made in USA like it used to.
They changed the wording just so it still says something similar. Yeah.
And you'll notice that a lot of car companies have shifted to the same thing. It will say assembled in.
Yeah.
Not made in, assembled in.
Right.
And I say that to say, like, that's where we as a people have to have I say this word and I don't mean it lightly, but I also don't mean it heavily, but we have to have a spiritual negotiation with ourselves.
Yeah.
About what we really feel and what we really mean.
Right.
Because there's a lot of talk about on all areas of the spectrum about what being an American and made in America and crafting American means.
Right. Right.
I don't have a feeling on any of that other than that's your negotiation with yourself. You need to negotiate that with yourself, with your family, with your faith, like whatever, like do that.
Right.
But understand that everyone else is doing the exact same negotiation and they are not always going to come out with the same result that you have.
Right.
And to avoid anything going on right now, but just to say, I think that's a large issue that we're dealing with is my negotiation with myself is different from yours.
Right.
And that's an issue. That's a problem.
Yep.
And, well, I say it's a problem. It's a discussion, and we need to have the discussion.
We do.
And so anyways.
No, I agree.
And that I'm sorry that this went in a way that probably you weren't, but it's stuff that affects creativity. It's stuff that affects me telling stories. It's like I've had so many productive. Today, I had 3 crazy productive conversations about future stuff happening in 2026.
Yeah.
That everything that I've just talked to you about could fucking derail at a heart's notice. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the thing that I have faith in is that those 3 conversations were all based in the same sort of like, and I'm going to say this as dumbly as I can, brother, we got you. Let's make this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's exciting. And that's exciting.
Yeah, exactly.
And I want that. I want that for everyone else. I want that for other people.
Right.
So anyways, sorry. I got really passionate there at the end. I apologize. So.
Hey, no, I love that. And
you've got a lot to edit, and I'm sorry.
So the cool thing is I try to keep this as much as just a conversation
Yeah.
as it possibly
Yeah.
can be.
Which
You
is
know,
why I
so,
enjoy talking to you. And it's I will always talk to you, and thank you for being amenable as far as schedule goes. I
yeah,
know we both had our schedule stuff, but no,
did yeah,
I the thing that your audience may not know or understand is that like you and I had a really great conversation in person,
yeah, yeah,
and nothing can replicate that. Nothing
right,
can replace that.
right,
We had a really great conversation in person, and this like almost 2 hours now that we've talked is just a fraction of what that conversation felt like
right,
because we were with each other. We were, you know what I
exactly,
mean? And
exactly,
I have been all for digital and replacing physical and all this stuff. And over the last couple of years, especially the last 2 years, of like re-examining my life, I've realized like I was wrong.
yeah,
It needs to be in person. It needs to be physical. It needs to be this. It needs to,
right,
and all you and I are doing right now is having a really close approximation to what our conversation in person was like.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah,
Yeah. And that's not denigrating you or I. That's
no,
just going like, no, we talked about a lot of cool shit. We
we
talked
did,
about a lot of ideas. You and I are going to do some cool stuff in the future. Like that doesn't happen over here.
right,
It just
right,
doesn't.
right,
I've been on hundreds of Zoom meetings. I've directed TV over Zoom meetings.
yeah, yeah,
None of it is satisfying as the in person.
yeah.
So,
I agree with that totally.
yeah.
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 So, do you have anything coming up that you want to bring up? Any events that you're going to be at? Anything like that?
No events, but what I'll say is keep an eye on sorry, you're gonna have to edit this because I'm about to burp.
You're good.
Okay. Keep an eye on at K Mellon on Instagram. I'm doing a faux reality show through Reels with some realtors and mortgage lenders here called Selling My Homes.
Okay.
So watch my channel for that.
Yeah.
The other thing is keep an eye on kevinmellon.com or kevinmellon.rocks. Both things go to the same place. I am working on some very cool shit coming up. The soonest of which will be end of October for the spooky season.
All right.
I did a drop earlier this summer with Third Eye Comics in Maryland for my one-shot Axe to Grind.
Yeah. Yeah.
We will be doing another drop for one of my other one-shots called Let Them Eat here towards the end of the month. And nobody else other than your audience, because I'm not doing any podcasts. I'm not going to talk about it social media wise until it comes out. Nobody else will know this other than your audience. So you'll have a first preview of keep an eye out because it's going to be limited. Like Axe to Grind was 100 copies. Let Them Eat's probably going to be 100 copies around that. It's limited. You get it as can get it. It's going to be a specific cover for Third Eye. It's going to be I don't even have a copy of Axe to Grind of the Third Eye version.
Oh,
so
okay.
if you get it, if you get Let Them Eat,
Yeah.
or if you've already got Axe to Grind, got Axe to Grind, you have a version of it that I don't have.
Oh, wow.
So Let Them Eat, let Them Eat is going to be the same thing. But also working out other things for the first quarter of 2026 that are very fucking cool. And literally like we're talking on a good day because I had a bunch of conversations today setting up stuff for late this year, early first quarter.
That's cool.
So yeah, I mean, I wish I could give you details, and once you hit stop recording, I'll tell you what it is. But, if you're into, your audience better than I do.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to say is, if you're into special, unique, cool things, if you're into objects, and if you're into just fucking rad comics, I've got some stuff coming up that's cool. So,
all right.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see what you got coming out then.
Thank you.
So, and you already said where people can find you and everything like that. Is there anything else maybe that you want to bring up before I get you off of here?
New music is coming out also. KevinMellon.rocks. Also just Kevin Mellon on Spotify and iTunes. I'll have some new stuff here out in the next month or two. So.
Okay. Are you gonna be doing any music videos? Because I know you've directed some other music videos and stuff.
I have shot a few, and I'm literally just trying to get the bands to sign off on stuff. Their schedules are so much different. Like, I shot a couple of music videos earlier in the summer.
Yeah.
And the bands are just sitting on the material, and not in a bad way, just more of a like, because they're like, oh, if you want to put it out, we can put. I'm like, do your thing.
Yeah.
So I've got music videos coming out. I have. So I believe I mentioned it at some point in this show. If you keep it in, I shot a faux reality, kind of riffing on Selling Sunset, but it's called Selling Mahomes.
Yep.
So if you go to my Instagram, which is at Kmellon, you'll see that new episodes coming out for the next few weeks. Every episode comes out. It's about a minute and a half.
Yeah.
Every Wednesday for the next few weeks. Shot Curb Your Enthusiasm style, all improv, and then I find the story and jokes, whatever.
Right.
And then I have a couple of music videos and short films that are in progress that will be out early next year. So
all right. Well, Kevin, it's been awesome talking to you.
No, me too.
Like I said,
Thank you for putting up with all of me, and I love that you got a chance to talk to Jessica, and you're welcome to leave as much or as little of that is in as you want. She gets on these things. If she ends up on these things, normally she tries to hide. Yeah. But as with you, I pointed her out, and she's like, "Okay, this is my entry, so she's going to be on camera." She, just to shout out her a little bit. She's the love of my life, but also, she does charity work as at elite_supergirl for elite comics here in Kansas City, and that is a charity that benefits the Children's Mercy Cancer Ward, and it's kids with cancer here in Kansas City. So she does a lot of charity work through them as at elite_supergirl. So like that's awesome. Please ignore any promo I made, and please go support that. Please go. Elite Comics, they do a toy drive every year where they generate tens of thousands, anywhere from like $10,000 to like $40,000 worth of donations. That's awesome. And what they do is they take that money and they have a local Target that they work with, and they give volunteers a list of items, and then they go shop for all that, and they generate as much as they can in an evening until they hit the goal of like whatever they've raised.
Yeah. So. That's amazing. Yeah,
it is. I've been fortunate to be a part of one of them where I just was kind of hanging out and shooting video and stuff like that.
Yeah.
These people are so excited and so happy to, and the kids are so excited and so happy to receive all this stuff, especially something that people don't think about is like, there's kids with cancer, and these kids may not make it, but there's also families behind them.
Yeah. Exactly.
So,
yeah. All right, man. Well, I will talk to you for a few more minutes after we end this recording.
Of course.
We're going to say bye here for now. Thanks again.
Thank you.
I did these conventions and I met more talent, other people, idols and celebrities that I looked up to when I was a kid, and we're having lunch and dinner together. It's a mess. I don't want to.
Oh, you're good. That's the reason why you just see this. You don't want to see what's outside of this window right here.
Right. What people didn't know was I was a founder of. I was a founder of a company.
Okay.
And we kept it secret all the way until Bell County.
Which one would you say is your favorite Ninja Turtles movie?
Ooh.